Oh, hey there. We're back with a fresh no game. Although this one's not that fresh. I played this exactly 1 year ago from when I'm recording this. Although that said, I haven't leveled up that much. So hopefully we can learn something and get a little better. But why are we revisiting this match? Well, because I was cruising this game. And it was a fun one. So I'm 9K up against 10K, intermediate skill level. Let's get into it. I had the first move. We each take a corner. Sure. I jump into the middle there on the bottom, force white to respond, back off a couple spots as we do. So far, I like the setup. I have enough started down here to build a little framework. Not really under a lot of threat and pressure here. And I have the opportunity on both of white's corners to jump in at the 3-3 if we need to and try and steal those corners. So far so good. I kind of like how this has started. And that gives us a free move, right? We don't have to defend down here necessarily. So we get a nice play over on the right-hand side. I don't mind that. It's a big leap between this stone and this stone. White could theoretically throw in there, but we'll see. White chooses not to, kind of attacks the outside of the corner, gives us a chance to defend it. Sure, he's basically split us off now, maybe? So I have the corner, maybe split off from this stone here. But even if he attacks the stone, right, I can still, just like it went down here, jumped off 3 lines, I can do the same thing here. I could jump down 1, 2, 3 lines, play here, have the exact same kind of framework set up, ready to go. So we'll see how that plays out. White attacks, sure. And wow, we maybe still have a chance to connect here. Interesting to see what my next play is. I think I should probably go here and just basically take away any kind of doubt, and then that would effectively seal all this up as one group, totally safe, nothing to worry about. It's not maybe as aggressive, because I could also attack this stone by playing maybe here or here, or I could also play a more, I don't know if it'd be more conservative, but I could play here. Same thing that we're talking about. We get a little framework built up. Plus, I can still potentially connect and slide down. So, what did we choose to do? Sure enough, first instinct, we attack those 2 stones, and it just, if white has to respond now to kind of protect these by maybe playing here or here, something like that. With our next play, we can jump in here, and then we're attacking this stone, and we still have a nice strong shape in there. So, what do we do? Oh, we didn't attack. Okay, we played actually a little more conservative down there. Don't hate it, but I wouldn't have minded attacking a little bit. Like, he had some weak spots here. These 2 could be cut. That one could have been cut. That one could have been cut and split. But anyway, ultimately we linked up, so that's totally safe now. Like, that's not going to get killed. Don't have to worry about it. Probably going to have to shift our focus over to like this area now, I imagine. Just because white has built up a pretty strong line here, and if he gets another one, like if he jumps into the middle of the board here up at the top and starts kind of working his way out and creating a line here, that's a big chunk. Don't want him to do that, so what do? There we go. We threaten that space. Sure, I don't mind that. And it's exactly what we talked about. We didn't want to get a big chunk in here, and we're just pushing into it right away. White now kind of shifts focus up here, and this one, my next move here, I could go either way. I mean, I could play the same thing we did in the right corner and just effectively take that corner. Or I don't mind actually playing more something like this, like G16 or F16. Just kind of like this corner here, we just took away any kind of doubt. If we play one of those, all of a sudden this, we might lose like a little bit of space here. But this becomes one pretty solid group, pretty safe, and then honestly I'm not under threat. And that's a bad habit of mine, is I kind of overextend myself, I get cut, and I end up with too many groups. So I don't mind playing a little bit safer in this position. We take the corner, sure. Okay, actually I like this. There we go. I was going to say, I like this because I'm threatening this stone, and I'm actually surprised white didn't respond. And maybe play here, something like that, or out here, but I guess it would be here. But a little cat digging beside me, finding some treats on the floor maybe. But instead, no, white, interesting. I kind of like white's play here. He's threatening this group of 2, which I probably do have to respond to. Like I probably got to play here. But also, I should be considering playing over here somewhere to strengthen this group and capture more space along the top of the board. What do we end up doing? Play the safe play. White jumps out. Okay, so, I mean, I could play here next to do what we just talked about. It'd be the safe play. That would all be one group. Chances of that getting killed off at this point pretty slim. But White had kind of like the last big move out here on the left-hand side of the board. So then maybe we jump in here. Maybe we jump in here somewhere, right? Because we just don't want him to take that whole chunk of the board. That's a lot. So I could see jumping in there somewhere on the left. Also, we got one big play over here still, right? Like this is wide open. One of us is going to have to make a move over there. Sure enough, we take the forcing move. That one's easy. Okay, then we got the safe play. He responds. At this point, hopefully I don't play up there again because I don't need to. This is totally safe. We don't have to worry about it now. So to play up here again is kind of a waste of a play. White's starting to build up a bit of a line over here now, a strongish line with good shape. So don't want him to build another line here. Like with one more play, if he plays out here, something like that, that's looking pretty solid as a group. Don't really want that. So I could see maybe, I don't know, jump. This feels like it's maybe death though if I jump in here. That's a pretty aggressive. I'm kind of behind enemy lines unless I can link up around that way. But what do we do? Push to the right-hand side of the board. Okay. White kind of responds a little bit. There we go. That worked out in my favor for sure. That's a nice big play. With 2 moves, like this one here and that one there, like look how much space we effectively captured, all that, right? It's not for certain yet, but we certainly expanded our influence and our territory in that space with 2 moves. And White probably did the right move by sealing up these cutting points in here so that I'm not going to jump in there. He's effectively got an eye up here and then an eye down here somewhere. So this group's going to be safe. And you can see how we're trying to push him in this way, maybe exert some force this way now too, so that I can sneak out into the middle of the board. But can't take our eye off this side either. So White responds, takes a little bit more space in that lower right-hand corner. Sure. Push out. So exactly what we talked about, trying to push out into this way because we don't want White to get a line here. Like that's all pretty strong. If he were to, he's got also a group down here, and if he were to connect, that's a really long, strong line, and then he could start playing some shots out here. All of a sudden, he's captured the middle of the board and has a lot of influence. So by pushing our way in there, we're trying to stop that. White, interesting. I don't know if I love this move by White. He's trying to be aggressive and put some pressure on my stone now. Down here, because we're only 2 strong. This is the weakest group of black on the board, right? So he's putting some pressure on, but he's got huge gaps over here that I think he should be addressing those before he's attacking my position. So we do respond, but that more or less like that. If anything, that took away the weakness a little bit of our group. Like just playing that out a little bit. It's no weaker than it was before. It was 2 stones, and now it's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's 7. But it's no worse off. We can still slide out into the middle of the board. I'm closer to actually connecting over here to this group, and for sure I'm getting at least 1 eye down here, and maybe I get 2 anyway. So, and he hasn't addressed this and hasn't addressed this, and he's made himself a little stronger maybe with a line there, but I mean there's a cutting point there and there, so none of that's for certain yet. So that's kind of just helped me out a little bit, I would say. Certainly hasn't hurt. Okay, so White, actually with 1 play, White has a nice bit of defensive work there, because now I'm not going to attack this play, this cutting point, or this one, right? They're both protected with that 1 play. So all of a sudden, he got way stronger in there. And just like he's pretty strong over here, I don't want him to capture everything in the middle. So it's important now that we don't just let him play like here, because then effectively he's bolstering this side and this side at the same time. So that feels like a big play, or even we could definitely still jump in down here, maybe up there. We'll see. What do we do next? I'm super curious. I don't play these back until we record them. I just have a couple little notes. And the note I put on this one is I basically putting the pressure on um, a lot of the game. And you can see, yeah, I am kind of. I'm not in defensive mode right now, or I should say, like, my offense is kind of helping my defense. Because this play right down here, interesting, I didn't take one of these big moves. Um, but I'm not. I'm just kind of delaying it. I can still push in there because I'm basically giving forcing plays to my opponent. It's like, hey, by playing here, he's got to address this stone now because if he doesn't, all of a sudden, like I can, if I can kill that one stone, like down here for me gets way stronger. So he's got to kind of address that. I'm just also expanding this group with that play, right? So like I'm forcing him back a little bit to play a little defense, and it's also helping uh, my weakest group on the board, and it's still giving me with the very next play. I can still jump in over here if I need to. It's just that little bit of a sort of safety through offense. It's like aggressive defense, kind of. Um, so I'm assuming white responds to that. Kind of. I might even force that again, to be honest. He didn't, yep, he didn't really address it. So now he responds, sure. I put him in Atari again. All of a sudden, like, he's in worse shape now. He can cut off. I have this group of three. He can cut here if he wants, but I can also put him into Atari with one play. I can also, like, if I can get a stone over here somewhere, I could potentially put this into a ladder, right? That just bumps into my stone and kills it off. So that's under threat now. And even if he does cut my group of three off there, I can just connect right up here. So this and also I'm starting to threaten in here right now because I can slice in here, I can slice in here. Um, there's a lot of little weak points over here that I can start jumping in, and even back here still, right? So like a couple easy plays down here that don't seem like they're big moves have kind of led into a potentially big play down here. And meanwhile, we can still push back to the left side of the board anytime we want right now because we have control of the board, right? We're directing the action, as it were. Lost the camera, bring it back. There we go. Um, okay, so white responds, and he doesn't want me putting him into Atari. Sure. We take that little peek, right? And we cut through here. All of a sudden, we split this stone, this stone. He can block me here, but then I can really start picking him apart, putting him into Atari, or just work our way in. I like that. Um, what he might cut me. Nope, doesn't cut me off. But okay, so that's a little more settled now, right? Um, this group down here, realistically, I'm probably going to be able to link up here or here. He can't cut both. If he takes either one of those spots, I take the other one. This group of mine, totally safe. Doesn't really matter. And he's also settled his side here, right? So like that's protected now. Not a lot of cutting points over here that I can exploit. So this all of a sudden becomes a very strong line for white. And you can see I might be in trouble in terms of this big group and this group that we just outlined. I talked about this earlier. This is still a huge chunk of territory. And now that this is extended a little further down here and it's kind of the effect of that has strengthened this becomes pressing now. I think I'm going to have to address that maybe with this next play. No. Um, I don't love that. I don't know. I mean, I definitely stole some territory out here, sure, and it's giving me the opportunity to push in. But we have to address this space over here and this one over here. We cannot let white take this. That's like a third of the board. Especially with this play right here, like he's clearly showing an outline, right, of a territory that he wants. I mean, there's a lot of space in there that we can jump into, but he's showing what he wants to do. We're going to have to deal with that soon. There we go. Finally. Right in the middle of that circle I just drew, right? That's funny. I said there's enough space in there we can jump in. And sure enough, right in the middle, and you can see why. Like, I'm under no threat immediately. I can go any direction. I can retreat this way. I can retreat this way. I can potentially link up to this group here. Maybe I can sneak under this way to the left-hand side. There's potential I can cut in through this way, or I can honestly just live in there. There's enough space that I can live. Um, so he's gonna put some pressure on, I imagined. Yep, didn't really matter which direction. Although I like the direction he chose because that strengthens this stone big time. Um, and now instead instead of getting like this group, he's showing something more like this, maybe coming back around. With that one stone, he's saying he might give up this sort of circular space in the middle, which is fine. But he's trying to protect the left-hand side of the board. So now we sort of know what he's trying to do. But we have to push one direction or the other. Go right, sure. We can put a little pressure on this stone, right? It's kind of out by itself, which we're doing with that last play. White attacks, sure. Play this out a little bit. Threatening to peek in here now. And you can start to see how maybe I can live in here, right? Like I already have the makings of one eye. Especially if I start pressuring this stone, I could easily build another eye up in that space there. Threatening to cut in, threatening the cutting space down there, and all of a sudden, look at that, threatening another cutting point. And a couple of moves, and we're almost alive down here already. Certainly not settled yet, but putting some pressure on him in this space. Meanwhile, white is getting a decent little chunk of territory over here. We're certainly sacrificing for this. I don't know if, I mean, I could try to jump in here later. Don't know if I would love that idea. I could certainly jump in here still, but we'll see. White's get a nice chunk on the left-hand side. We lose a couple down there. I think, honestly, I sacrificed those, maybe? Because, yeah, I think, I mean, we can still run out if we have to. One more play right there, and we have our eyes, I think, basically set. And we can still play here and kind of link up to this bigger group on the right-hand side. With this play, I mean, white's kind of trying to get a little more space in the middle with this group, and potentially trying to link up to this middle stone in the center of the board. Hey, which we now attack, and we can kill that one off. Perfect. So white's, he's basically saying he's fine to just take this. He's lost this stone down here, meaning now we're totally safe in the middle. So jumping in the middle of the board, kind of in this area, with our initial attack, totally paid off. We're not under worry, or not worried about being under threat at this point. It's gonna be alive, easy peasy. Lost the camera again. Let's bring it back. Okay, threatening upper right, sure. At this point, like a lot of the board is settled. We're 120 moves in, which is like half the game, but like really the bulk of the game has been played, right? Let's look at our territory. We got a pretty solid group up there. We got this one, which actually, if we can make this little hop right there, this has turned into one kind of huge group. And actually, I'm not even drawing the whole thing because it's going to be connected through this group here down to here. So we have like only two groups now. Might end up that way. Plus, we can still jump in here and still jump in here. Like, do we have half the board? I'd say we might be a little bit behind, actually. If we just check the AI estimate, white by 11. So sure enough, and it's down to this right here. White's got the whole left-hand side of the board. So I think we're going to, have to come back and steal some of that. But I don't think we're going to let off the gas here anytime soon. And we're kind of, like I said, this game is kind of, we're cruising, right? We're never really under threat. And we're the ones kind of putting pressure on. And that's the place to be. When you're playing Go, it's nice to be the one in control, kind of pressuring your opponent as opposed to playing defense. And mostly that's been the case, right? We played a couple safe moves, like with this group up here, and then a couple up here, just to make them large groups that are fully connected, so nothing could get split off. And we were just never really in that much danger, and that allows us to pressure with our own offense, right? So at this point, I think it's just a matter of like keeping that pressure on and trying to. Oh, yeah, okay. Just say there's a double Atari there, but I was an Atari myself. So we're trying to just steal as much space from our opponent as we can. You see, I put him in Atari. He ignores it. Interesting. There's another Atari here that I like that I haven't played yet. If I play there at K12, this group here is get down to a single life. Then I can play here, and he's down to a single life again. Here, it would be at M12, right? Let's play that out. Whoops. If I put him into Atari, He's got to respond. Oh, sorry, he's not into Atari. I can play here, but he's got two liberties. So it actually doesn't put as much pressure on this group. But now look at this. Like I've almost made that gap, that little connection, which is a pretty nice little steal actually if I get those points. So anyway, let's back it up. We played here instead. Threatened some Ataris, sure. Put him into Atari there. It's a forcing move. There's the Atari, sure. Exactly as it played out. Atari, and exactly as we talked about, we made that connection, we linked up. So this is actually one huge group now, right? And this isn't actually, it does kind of connect down this way. This is all, I shouldn't have drawn it like this. This is huge. That's all one group. I don't know if it's half the board though. I think we maybe made up a few points there, but I'm gonna have to, I think, attack here, maybe here, down here, or down here. Still some attacking to be done. And we're still in control. And there we go. So we push into the left-hand side. Push to the bottom, sure. Now white's, oh, interesting. White had control. I chose to go in. Yeah, this feels like, I don't know. White can't live down here. I don't know what he's doing. I'm going to kill him off. Ooh, and look at this attack. Because this group of white, look at that. It's only got two liberties, right? He can put me into Atari here. How does he respond? Sure. But now that stone, this is a nice little attack. We take a stone. Interesting. So white, I think that's going to be a big kill, right? Like white played here as opposed to saving this stone. He plays here to kind of ensure the survival of that corner, and then thereby sacrificing that stone. He just gave me some points. And he could take the kill there, but then now I'm threatening this group, right? Like we're putting the pressure on in this corner all of a sudden. Okay, this might be an interesting like co-battle going on down here now. Because then I take the kill. What's he gonna? He could link up again now, right? Oh man, what is happening down here? Oh, no, I was gonna say white could play here and put me into Atari, which would put me in a bad spot. But no, I can still kill this stone anytime I want. But as soon as he plays there to make this group safe, he's down to two liberties, and I can kill him in two plays. Oh man, this is a crazy little corner. Okay. So sure, put me into Atari. Doesn't matter. I take the kill. Guess what? I can take the big kill with the next play. There it is. So we were behind by 11 points, but guess what? I bet we're not anymore. Check that out. Black by 41. What a swing. We've stolen that whole corner with that kill. That's huge. Sweet. I like that. And I started with this little attack on this group of 5, right? And then it kind of circled its way up. And because I was basically strong enough down here, I could sort of attack from this side or this side. And I used the influence and the safety of that group kind of to my advantage. Love it. That's a huge win. This game's probably over by now, to be honest. I don't have to attack anything over here, right? I'll probably fly through the rest of this. White's going to get crazy aggressive. Sure enough, we jump in for the fun of it. I don't think we're going to live, though. Maybe, probably not. This is just kind of endgame type stuff now. These are silly moves, to be honest, at this point. None of us are going to make... There we go. So then we pass. Final score, black by 39. That's a huge win. Love it. That was a fun game, and it really came down to just, first of all, winning that corner. That's huge, but I was never in danger. That makes a big difference in these games when you can just, you're not on the back foot. You're kind of pressuring your opponent. You're forcing them around the board. You're directing them a little bit as best as you can, and you get the win. So can't complain about that. Fun game. I might do a little game breaker actually on this corner, how that played out. We'll have a short and sweet version because this one has gone on long enough, 25 minutes. we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for watching as always. If you stuck it out this far, you're a champion. Let me know down below in the comments. I'll give you a thumbs up and give you a shout out in the next video. How about that? And we'll see you next time. Let's go.